of fruit.
Oh, not red cups, yeah? You know, black power and that. No,
yeah.
I'm taking the piss.
We meant to do that.
You know,
That's what we tried.
Yo, what's really good though? It's your girl Yezi Azar.
And it's a girl AY, you don't know already.
And you are listening or watching Hey Sis.
Well, we talk about our opinions, we drop some gems, some facts, and if you don't like it, you know what I'm going to say, kick rocks.
Okay. Now we got a very special guest with us today, and we're going to be talking about something that it needs to be spoken about. We are going to talk about, is mental health amongst men still a taboo in the community? And we're going to let him introduce himself. So let the people know who you are.
Yo, what's going on, people? Sorry about that. It's your boy Cray. And yeah, man, I do music, engineer, vlogging, podcasting, all that kind of stuff. I like to do loads of different bits and pieces. So yeah, man. Yeah.
And plug your podcast. What's it called?
Oh, yeah. Sit Down with Cray. Yeah, check me out on all my socials as well. It's Cray. And yeah, YouTube, Cray TV. Yeah, with an X, by the way. So
you should spell it too.
Yeah. CRXY TV. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. See, now there's no excuse. You better find it.
How do you spell Cray?
Yeah, trust. People start typing it down. I'm telling you, I've had some. They don't even start, man. Like, boy.
I feel like I can see your pain.
The frustration.
Nah, like, why would you? I'm thinking of it now. Like, someone will spell it CREY. I'm like, it still works, but it's more like cream.
Yeah, I get what you mean with that one.
Yeah, that one. I was just like, okay, cool. You know what? You just don't want to just check out any of my stuff. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's
that
cool.
indirectly just told you that one.
You don't really want to listen. I don't want to listen to what I've got to say, man. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's delve into it. So, what do you think about mental health amongst men? Like, when you hear that, what are you thinking?
It's kind of, this is gonna sound mad, but I automatically think about black men.
Okay.
It's not really mad.
Yeah.
No, it was like, it hit me. It was like,
I think I'm gonna say something out.
You black?
Yeah.
Start cancelling.
I am black.
Yeah, this cancel pretty quickly. You know what I mean? No, but it's I automatically think about black men and stuff like that. I think we hold a lot of stuff in.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in, which then in turn turns into anger. Can be sad, but you don't want to show it because you have to have that, oh, I'm a man, blah, blah. Which I guess it does happen in the white community as well, but I don't know, it seems like they don't really deal with it, but...
They're definitely a lot more open about it. Like, they don't have this shame. Like, I feel like mental health has connotations within, let's just say, black and Asian communities as a sign of weakness, that you haven't got your shit together. And then in, Caucasian communities, it's seen as a thing of, no, speak about it. We're not judging you. Yeah. It's everyone goes through it.
It's funny you say that though.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, is it because we're black and we're in that community, so it seems like that? Seems that in the white or in a white community that it isn't that way. Do you know what I mean?
You think we're assuming?
Yeah, we're assuming.
Yeah.
You know, when you're actually in a community, you understand it way more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
but in their side, it might be the same, but they don't talk about it much, and we don't have that kind of that kind of dialogue with us lot about it. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
So.
It's true, because if we're going to really go into like the nitty gritty now, when we talk about Caucasian communities, Eastern European definitely isn't open.
No.
Very.
So when we go into those subsections as well as those backgrounds, like Russian and all that stuff like that, and countries like that, they're not. I don't think that's something that they talk about at the dinner table for sure.
If they do, then. Yeah, I think it should be something that should be spoken about in general. If it's even taken away from like just like men and stuff like that, I think in general everyone should talk about it because it's something that's there. Because especially when you're growing up as well, like our parents don't understand like certain things that happen that they do, then kind of affects us.
Oh, for sure.
We come down into it, and then it just keeps going on and on. It's only until you check yourself and realize, hold on a minute.
Yeah, trauma gets passed down.
Do you know what I'm saying? It gets passed down and passed down. And you don't realise.
Generation into generation. And
you don't realise.
So the parents are thinking, nah, this is how I was taught. I know that's how you were taught, but it was trash.
No, it's true.
It was
trash. Grandma, it was trash.
Yeah,
Pull out.
Sorry, Granny. And it's crazy because it's like more time than not, like the grandmas now don't act the same way as they did when they were having their kids.
Yeah.
Because my grandma is completely different to how when she was younger. The stories I hear, I'm like, grandma?
You went through
My grandma.
Yeah.
We call her Dana as well in what's it called from our tribe. But it's like Dana. We're like Dana. Dana is calm. She backs it. She doesn't, because like for instance, she's very much like, she's very strict when it comes to like showing yourself, like your body. Like even shoulders.
Oh, she's old school.
She's like
super old school. No shoulders.
yeah, she's
Oh,
like,
that's cleavage.
you are a harlot in the streets is what you're doing. But me, I'll come there with my short skirt, my short dress, and now she doesn't say anything. And it's like when my mum and my aunties tell me stuff, I'm just like, the same grandma.
But that's acceptance that the times have changed.
Exactly, yeah.
But then it's like these conversations, when do you talk about them? Because we were laughing about, you don't talk about it at the dinner table, but when do you even get the opportunity to tap in with your friends, your family, and be like, how are you, without just saying, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And
I
when
guess
is it okay to kind of say,
you're
are you really okay?
alone more time than not, like with the people, when it's a more intimate setting between you and that person. Sometimes I feel like for a lot more people, they prefer that than to speak about it, let's say in front of like us. Then you feel like, okay, especially if it's in their own space. If it's in their own space, because that's their more comfortability in. So like it's much more easier. But
do you talk to your friends about mental health, or do you talk to your family about it? See, this is the thing, because
I talk to my family about it.
No, you. I'm just saying, just like what would be best, because like they say, your experiences and all that kind of stuff. But like sometimes you might want to talk to your friend about it, but then you might think that your friend might just laugh at you about it. Yeah. But you might want to talk to your family about it. Well, you don't want to talk to your family about it because you might think, oh my god, then they think that I might do something to myself, or I might do. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you might worry them and stuff like that. But like, who do you think is the best person to talk to?
There is no best person. I feel like when you feel comfortable with that person, that's when you're comfortable. But I will say, in the past, the reason why I've hesitated to speak about like my mental health at times is because I felt like I'd be judged. And judgment's a big thing for me, because it's taken me a long time to have this attitude of I don't care what people think about me. So that's what used to hold me back a lot. Whether it's friends or family, the first thing that I'd always think about is, oh, what are they going to think about me if I say this? Because it's like I feel like I'm chipping away at the image that they have for me, as opposed to the image I should have for myself.
I mean, I hear that, especially like, because when you have those opinions, like those feelings, it's usually based off because you probably told them something when you're younger and they didn't react properly, so now you kind of built that kind of idea about them when it comes to talking about your feelings. But at the same time, it's like, when we all go based off assuming and creating, I think they might act like that, then that's even makes it worse, because it's like you've not given that person a chance to actually act out or like react or whatever, do whatever. You've just decided that you're probably going to react like this, so I'm just not going to tell you. Do you know what I mean? And
I've had the experiences, especially with my dad. He's very militant, but he is militant in every aspect. So even as a kid, I've never had that whole me crying is not something we used to do. Like, we don't cry. Something bad has to really happen. And my dad always had this line, and till this day it echoes in my head. Every time we showed weakness, he's like, I didn't raise any jellyfish. He always says that. I didn't raise jellyfish. I'll fix up. I didn't raise jellyfish. It's only like later down the line, he might let you talk about what you're going through, and then he gives you advice, and then it's still a thing of, okay, we get on with it.
See, that's something. That is one main thing that even like me and my mum were talking about. It's like the old like my grandma's like generation, stuff like that. It's always, don't worry about it. Like, come on, fix yourself, blah blah. And it's like, I fix myself, but I need to speak to someone about something.
And it's not a quick fix.
Sometimes that helps, just talking it out, just saying it, actually saying it out loud. If someone and them listening can make a world of a difference, because sometimes you just kind of need to hear it out loud to then maybe see like, okay, maybe I might be being dramatic, so maybe I just I'm doing too much. And then because sometimes that's what when you live in your head, everything seems 10 times worse until you actually say it out loud. And sometimes you realize, okay, it's actually not that deep. I just need to vent. I just need to let it out and express myself.
I think everyone needs a friend to vent to, or someone or something to.
They need that.
Like for me, when it was music and like my music and stuff, like when I first started writing, it was all about stuff that I did have in my head that I just wanted to act out. Like do you know what I'm saying? Not act out, but not. Okay, this sounds bad. Not act out, but like wanted to just flow. And it felt, I don't know why, but like for me, especially back then, I used to write a lot. Like books, like just write. Even if it wasn't like just bars or stuff, it's just write. And it just
Yeah.
felt like me writing. It felt like I was releasing something out.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it's just something like, even if it was like just little, like I'll write a little bit, then just draw little stupid like cartoon pictures or whatever it is, stickmen or whatever it.
Yeah.
But it was just for me to just vent and feel something, and I feel everyone should have that kind of thing that they can go
Release,
to and
that outlet.
release and just let it go. Do you know what I mean?
The funny thing, you know, it's similar to me because as a kid, I never used to speak about my feelings. It was always a sense of, dad's gonna think I'm a jellyfish. Let me keep it in. That thing echoing in my head. But music, same. Writing down lyrics and poetry was therapeutic for me. And sometimes watching films, because films would show scenarios that maybe you've been in, and you see how they kind of solve it in their own way. And I'm watching that, and it's helped a lot to have that outlet of being able to, you know, live vicariously through someone in a film and learn through their trials and tribulations, or write down your feelings this way. But that speaking to someone is a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's making you so vulnerable. And going back to like even like the like black men and stuff like that, it's mad, but no man wants to feel vulnerable. It sounds mad, but do you know, no one wants to feel. But
why?
Like, I think it's just a stereotype, and what you see, like when you're growing up, you know, you might see your dad, you might see you watching movies, you're watching this, or you see like your older friends and stuff like that, and you see how they I've never seen XYZ cry. Oh, why am I crying? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't never seen him say he's got problems, but you don't realise they have problems. Yeah. But they just never spoke about it. That's the reason why that they're in this kind of state that they're in.
Yeah, no, because it's taught from a young age. Like, boys don't cry. Because even like my nephew, like he's like that. When we went to Kenya, at one point he was crying because he was missing home. He was homesick because we went to Mount Kenya and he lives in the city, Nairobi. And so I went to him and I was like, "You're gonna go home soon, I promise." And I was just telling him, look, if you stay here for a while, you're gonna have stories to tell. You're gonna be the cool kid because you're gonna tell them that you saw lions and all these things, right? And eventually he stopped crying, and I was like playing with him, and he felt better. And he was like, "Yeah, because big boys don't cry. Big boys don't." And I said, me and my other cousin, we were both like, no, boys do cry too. Everybody's allowed to cry. Like it's okay to cry. It's not a bad thing to cry.
And how old is he?
And he's 3.
Wow.
Because whenever he's with his dad, it's like that kind of mentality is being pushed in like all the time.
It's the big man thing.
Yeah, you're a big boy. The big boys don't cry. So it's like we were like, okay, that's something that we kind of have to dismantle whilst he's young, because otherwise he'll grow up and then he's not gonna be expressive. And then when it comes to even relationships with friends or like partners, it's gonna be also come out into that.
But do you know what? Yeah, is being too expressive a problem? Do you get what I mean?
I was gonna go ahead. Land. I know where you're going with this.
Because like we've all probably been through it. Relationships, friendships, where you've been so nice, you've been so great to that person, and then they just
tell me about it.
And you're just and then you sit back to yourself and think, bro, was I too nice? And then you think, and then you think to yourself, why am I? See, for me, what usually happens? I start thinking this, and then I get to a point, but why am I stupid? Do you know what? Who am I? I'm the big man. Do you know what I'm saying? Why am I shouldn't be thinking about stuff like this. Yeah. Then you go out, but it's like you've learned, but then I haven't dealt with it. If you know what I'm saying. I've spoken about it to myself, said it out loud, like, what, blah, blah, blah. I've spoken to them, but it's like, I haven't actually deeped what's going on.
But maybe we're blaming ourselves too much, because there's nothing wrong with treating people nicely. It's just the wrong people. And that's what we have to filter through. We have to go through it. Not everyone's lucky to meet their high school sweetheart at 16 and then get married to them. Some of us have to kiss a couple frogs before we find our prince or princess.
At this point, I just let it go. You ain't gonna find no prince.
I'm a head out. I'm a head out.
The streets are in the dire need. The streets. Some people are in the streets.
It's okay. I'm the rich auntie. That's fine.
They get together.
I'm the rich auntie. I'm okay. I'm happy with that role.
No, it's true.
But it's true. Yeah, no.
Wait, was you say your nephew? Yeah. Like, with that, like, it's good that you're, of course, wanting to break it down, but do you want to break it down to a point where he might be too kind to everyone?
It's not about being. I feel like
it's also words mean so much, but people don't realize that.
But that's the thing. It's about teaching someone that to learn how to like. It's about teaching them how to navigate with people. Yes, you should be kind to people. Yeah. However, you should also let them be aware that also there's people out here that will take that and abuse that. So learn to discern and like be able to tell, okay, cool, is this person actually there for me or is there for someone else? As I said before, because at the end of the day, it's like, yes, you're gonna be nice, and some people are gonna take that for granted. It just happens.
It happens. You can't avoid it.
Change yourself
So,
because now that person has control over you. They can tell you how to be. It's learning to be okay, cool. I might be too kind. I'm a bit too open. I need to learn to actually discern. Like, is this person actually here for me? Or are they here for themselves? Are they trying to help me out? Or are they trying to help themselves? Like, learning those little things out there and like not being so naive, because the thing is, we also being naive. So a lot of us move in that naivety, like, oh, everyone's just nice. It's like, no, just because you're nice doesn't mean that they're nice. Teaching that too is that, you know what I mean? Like, and that hurt people.
No,
so it's like somebody was hurting you is not a reflection of who you are. And that's what plays into when you were saying about, why is somebody being like unkind to me? I was kind to them. I was loving to them. It's like that's not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of them and where they are and how they want themselves, what they're lacking. So learning to not take it personal and make it seem like it's your fault.
But as a man, do you feel like subconsciously do you take on board advice more from your fellow man or woman, or is it the same to you? Because like when you talk about your nephew, I'm hoping he takes your advice, but will he take it on board more if his dad's relaying that same information?
I feel like he definitely will take it with the guys, because he does. He loves the guys. He loves the girls, but he's like a mummy's boy, as in his consent, so he protect the women. It's how he sees it all the time. If you're not okay, he'll be like, I'll protect you. However, the boys, he cares. He cares about what the boys are doing, the boys are saying when the boys are playing, and the boy, like he needs, he does care.
So why is it like that then?
Do you know what? For me, I'm the different. Maybe it's how I've been brought up and stuff like that. But like my dad will say certain things, I'll take it in, blah blah. I go to both of them for advice, and I go like if I ask my mom about something, I ask my dad about it, and then come to like my own conclusion kind of thing.
Okay, that's balanced
kind of thing. Because of course, my dad might be more but mom might be like so that I come and I think, okay, cool. What they both said, does it make sense to me? For one. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the most important.
I can't just. It sounds mad, but you can't just run with what you've heard.
You can't.
To be honest, I don't know what my mom's been through, like all the stuff my mom's been through. I don't know all the stuff that my dad's been through. So now I'm going through it. I need to find out what they did. So my mom's, it might be exactly the same, but am I gonna react in that same kind of way? If it does, it logically make sense to me? And come out with my own. Do you know what I'm saying? My own. What's the word I'm looking for? Conclusion. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So but I do take more my mom's advice more.
Oh, so why is that? Like, why do you think you're wired like that?
I don't know. I think with my mum, I don't know what it is. I think I'll call myself a mummy's boy. A lot of people would say, "Oh yeah, what's your mum?"
Oh, okay, self-proclaimed mama's boy. I'll call myself. We're gonna tap into that one, but keep going. Keep going.
I think. Do you know what it is? I think me personally, I don't know. There's the way how my mum says things and certain things. So there's certain things that my dad says, and I'm like, okay, cool. But certain things he says, I'm just like, really, like. You really came to that conclusion about whatever. It's not that I don't believe him, but it's like, okay, cool. Did you actually listen to what I said?
Oh, so you don't feel like he's listening to you, he's speaking at you.
Yeah, sometimes I felt like, especially when I was, sometimes it would be like, oh, like, I'm like, okay, cool. My mum would be the same, but I don't know what it is. There's something about her delivery, like you said, words. I think there's maybe the kind of word, and plus as well, my dad's Caribbean, like directly from Caribbean. So the way he's been raised, once again, is then impacting. But even certain stuff he's told me about, like when he was raised, the way how he raised me is different. He's got a different look at life as well. So it isn't as bad as his, like you were saying. It isn't as bad like show no shows, but you know what I'm saying? It's not that bad, but it's still, some of it is still funneling through.
It still trickles through.
Same with my mum.
Still got a long way to go in a sense.
There's still a lot of ways to go. But I think with my mum, she just says things so much differently as well.
But I don't want to forget this, because I know people at home are very intrigued. Because you're a self-proclaimed mama's boy.
I'm a mama's boy.
I would like to know what your definition of a mama's boy is.
I think for me personally, it's just like making sure that my mum's fine, she's good. That's my kind of definition of it. Of just making
that's
sure.
Just any good child, isn't it?
But I don't know. But maybe I'm trying to think.
Mama, love ya. I hope you're good.
I don't know, man. It's like. Not saying that my mum can never be wrong, because I'm not. Okay, maybe there's a difference. I think there's certain mama's boys that would, if their mum, even if she's wrong, no, it's alright, my mum's right, bro. But I'm not gonna. If my mum's wrong, she's wrong. Like, that's maybe what mainly makes maybe a mama's boy.
You tell me. You tell me. You tell us.
No, because I'm just trying to. I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
The way how I see myself being a mum, just like making sure my mom's fine, looking after her, making sure she has this, making sure she has that, but like those kind of things. That's what I say for me, is my definition of a mama's boy. But some people might see it different. So
as a woman, it just
Yeah.
you know,
How do
as
you
a
guys
woman,
see it?
it's a
Yeah.
bit worrying. Only because not that this should warp your opinion, but as a woman, am I ever gonna feel like I'm number one? If it feels like your mom's already on a pedestal.
Okay.
You know we had to do
make sure
it.
you guys
It's
watch,
Hey Sis.
I can't lie. Make sure you guys watch everything that's been said here because I don't want you people to be taking this and
I was
taking that.
waiting for her to. I just kept doing faces to the camera because I needed the people to see. I know.
You know we're gonna tap in.
Make sure when you guys put this together.
You know we're gonna tap
Make sure you
in.
guys put it
Mum
correctly
number
together.
one. Don't
innit?
even
No. We're
Don't
gonna
even
put it
bother.
together. We're gonna put it
even
together.
bother.
Guys, just start chopping the chop. No.
Hey.
Okay, now in that sense,
Can a woman ever be
see-
number one when your mom was already number one?
Hey,
Is your mum gonna sit in the front seat of the car?
Cancel. I'm going no. Now, do you know what? Oh, to just say even that, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah.
What'd you say?
I've had a
Mum sitting in the front seat of the car.
That's
That's the
what I'm saying.
wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy,
judging,
Whoever
no
gets there first, isn't it?
No, real talk. Oh, hold
Do you know
on.
what? It's mad. Do you know what? But even in saying that, yeah, because like I've had like this conversation with the man, them,
I'm
girls,
sure.
blah blah.
I'm sure, but you ain't had it on Hey Sis.
It's funny though because it's like someone's like, oh, no, of course, my mum, blah blah. I understand that
Yeah.
she birthed you, but once again, I think what my mum says, like, my mum sees it as yes, I'm here, blah blah, but you're starting a new family. This is your new life that you're going into. It's like, yeah, it's cool. You can still have me if you like. Well, she's not saying this, but I'm just thinking.
Yeah. What your mind
It's
saying
like-
is that? Yeah.
She might say, yeah, cool, no, number one, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, when I'm gone, this is what you're pushing. This is your family. You left your family. Like, your family's gone now. Your parents are gone, blah, blah. This is who you're fully going to go into and start having children with and explore your life with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. Look, make sure, like, respect me and all that kind of stuff. But there's a new life to be had.
So for you, when does that new life start? Because you mentioned when your mum is gone, and there's a lot of women that'll be like, shouldn't it start when maybe marriage? Others say when a relationship starts.
Do you know what? Okay, cool. I think for me, when a relationship starts, I don't think so. For me, personally, when a relationship starts, I think it takes years for you to get to that point because it's like it's like, for instance, you can get with someone and then you end up with them, finish breaking up with them in 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you know? I feel like when you feel like you're in a relationship and you've gone further, you've had maybe disputes and all that kind of stuff, and then you're in that point, in that place. I think then, I don't think there's an actual. I don't think maybe there's an actual like, oh yeah, in 1 year time, then you're greater than mom. Do you know what I'm saying? I think certain actions and things have to be done before you get there. Not saying that you have to. Well, I guess you have to build yourself, just like how I would have to build myself for a woman. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when do you guys think that a man is?
I mean, let's talk about let's talk about rankings, innit?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because if we're ranking it,
yeah.
let's just say there's spot number one, spot number two.
Yeah.
Where's mommy going and where's your woman going?
Oh, see. No. I do like that though. I do like it, and the thing is like I don't even know. That's the thing.
So what if you've been together for 3? Your wife.
My wife.
Your wife.
Wife.
He scratched his neck. Your wife.
Ladies, there's no hope. There's no hope. A man
Stop.
getting his neck for wife. Don't worry. Man did.
It's a bit mad. It's a bit hot in there still.
He's a bit mad behind the camera. Don't save him. You keep recording.
No, do you know what? I think when you're a wife, I think a wife would have to.
You think?
What's your ranking? Be real, innit? No one's judging.
No. Personally, I don't. This one I am. No, do you know what it is? I think for me, I don't. It's weird. I don't have a ranking. I don't know. I feel like
there's 2 phones in front of you. Your wife's calling. Your mum's calling. Whose phone are you picking up first? Who's calling?
Ooh.
Exactly.
Ooh, in and Arin.
That's mad though. That is mad though. Do you know something? And I think if you asked me this about 5 years ago.
But we'll ask you
today. No. But,
you today.
No, but I'll tell you the reason why. I'll tell you the reason why.
No, I'll tell you the reason why.
I think if you told me about 5-6 years ago, it would be a very different answer to now. Reason being, is when my nan died, I felt like my mum died. Because of how close I am with my nan.
Yeah. So
it's like that for me is so hard because my mum could be telling me that she's on her deathbed. Same with my wife, but it's like because this is gonna sound mad, but not mad, but because I've been through that kind of feeling of how it feels with my mum, I don't know. I probably would pick the phone up to my mum. because I think because of my experience, but I think, as I said, because. Yeah, I think maybe 6 years ago, blah blah, I would probably would have picked up the phone to my wife to find out. But I think because of what I've been through and how everything that kind of stuff, I think that's the kind of
I get that.
You know what I'm
She for dead.
Oh my! You see what I'm saying?
You know what it is, yeah.
You gonna die, honey. If it's mama, you
But
gonna
I'm
die.
with it.
You know what it is? I sense that you have an assumed responsibility because of the relationship that goes as far back as your grandmother. But the only worry I have is that you now have an assumed, you have an assumption that your wife's going to be okay. She's all right.
Yeah.
And this kind of delves into the fact that a lot of women feel like men assume they've got all together and that they're strong and independent. And that's not always the case.
No. See, I know that though. You see what you just said? I know that. Okay, in that, what you just said, I agree with that. But for me, I know that women, I've been with, not been, wow.
Talk.
No.